Hello, Flosstube fam. It's the Dace Man here. My name is Dace. My pronouns are he, they, and I am here today to film a 2025 WIP parade. So 1 year ago, I released my first WIP parade here on Flosstube, so I thought it only made sense to see where we're at 1 year later. This month, my video is going to be a little bit different in its format. We're actually going to be having a look at the progress I've made over the year rather than the month, but I might mention what I've worked on over the past month, etc., with a few plans and the community finish parade at the end as per usual. So without much further ado, we're just gonna get into it. Boop. As you can see, I have this pile of whips far bigger than the size of my head to get through, so we are just gonna have to get going, I think. So, first of all, we have got Eeveelutions, Possibilities Rainbow. Artwork is by Alyssa Gerwig, and this is where I am at right now. I'm not showing the entire thing. We are getting really close to a finish on this now. I'm going to be finishing this in October. So this project has almost 400,000 stitches, and I've done most of it. I've worked it up column by column. I've worked up on a 28 count even weave, which is how I do most of my full coverages. And so in the past year, I have taken this from, I think, about 74% when I last filmed to 90.5%, but I've actually worked on it a tiny weeny bit more already this month because April's already started. So we're getting towards 91% on this already. This is Umbrian. It's been very purple. It continues to be purple, but it's starting to lighten up now. We're slowly working towards the top of Evie's ear and bottom of Umbrian's feet, where the blue splash starts to come in at the bottom here. So over the course of this month, I expect to work up pretty much this section here, and we'll be moving the Q snap down next month into that last section, I hope. So that's Eeveelutions. I'm going to be haphazardly just throwing my whips to the side. Don't worry, my bed's over there. They've got a comfy landing. Whoop. Okay, so our next whip is Ann Thomas. So I am actually going in order from old to new. So my oldest whips first, working through to the newer whips. So this was my second oldest start. And as you can see, I actually had a false start on this. I still haven't unpicked this. I started this going 2/2 on 40 count linen and decided it was far too thick. And I was going to just frog this and continue it upside down, but still haven't frogged it. Don't worry about it. But we're actually actively working on this one at the moment. This is Ann Thomas. It is by Hands Across the Sea, and it's a reproduction sampler from 1854. I've dyed my own linen, and this is as far as we've got so far. This is a bit embarrassing. It is one of my oldest whips, my second oldest whip, and this is as far as I've got. However, this year I do plan on working a fair bit in, and it's currently active as a whip go project. So I've worked this in already in one session, and we've got 3 sessions left to go on this for whip go at this current time. So I'm hoping to get this flower pot done, maybe even start working down these florals, or maybe come across and start working on these florals. Once we get down to these bottom bits, there's a lot of stitching in the corners, but the rest of the stitching is quite light. So I think we're going to be okay. But for now, we've done the top border, we've done the writing, that was over one, done some partridges, we've got Walter in. We had a Walter frog, but we restitched him. And we've got most of this flower pot in as well. So I'm feeling pretty good that we are going to get this kind of done. So this time last year, I think I literally had like some of this text done and maybe most of this, maybe a bit of this as well, but like there was like a strip done at the top. So, we've made an all right bit of progress for a year, and I plan to do a lot more this time. So see how we get on with that. I'd like this to be a finish early 2026, you see. So that's why I thought I'd get as much in as I can now and just, yeah, see how it goes, really. Okay, the next one is actually a little bit of a treat, and I don't have a picture for this one because I finished it. So this was a recent finish, Atlantis by Owl Forest Embroidery. I got this done for Murder March, I believe. I think I wanted to murder the project, so I have done. My owl forests, I stitch very slowly because I get the thread packs and I really enjoy working in the owl forest threads, and I feel like it's a finite amount of owl forest thread packs that I have and I want to enjoy them and take them slowly. So this has been a whip for a very long time, but that was intentional. I just wanted to enjoy it as I went along. But here we are. First panel was done a while ago. Second panel, I'm pretty sure I had that partially done last year, perhaps. But now I have also done this third panel. It's an absolutely stunning project. The threads are really nice. There are only 7 colors in this. It's on a 28 count even weave, I think. I think you'll be able to pardon my mirrored camera. There we go. The full whip, backlit and everything, because I'm a professional. There you are. I've done it as one single piece. It does come as a triptych that you can stitch as individuals, but I did it all in one. So there we are. That's my finish for the month. Nice big finish. I was pretty happy with that. One whip down. Quite a lot to go. All right. Our next project is Octopus, actually. Little Octopus. So this is artwork by Jeff Haney. And last time I showed this on a whip parade, we are being attacked by the sun right now. I do apologize. Um, it was partial feather. I'd done like some of this feather here, and I was saying how it's not very octopus yet. But over this past year, I've only increased this by about 2.5%. It went from 9.72% to 12.28%. However, in that little bit of stitching, I managed to finish off the feather and finally reach the octopus. So I'm very excited to work on this project some more, get some more of the actual octopus in. I'm sorry about the exposure. We are just being attacked by the sun right now. I closed my curtains to like an inch and it's still still glowing. It's a springtime sun, I suppose. But here we are. You can see what's going on. You've got the gist. Yeah, that is Octopus by Jeff Haney as it stands. I don't have any plans to work on that. It's on my full coverage Friday whip wheel, and it comes up if it comes up. But I might get a move on it next year or the year afterwards, depending on how I feel. Our next whip is a Meeting of Tangled Paths, so you all know this one. I work on it every single month. I get 1.25% in every month. And another one, I don't bother taking out the Q snap for these because well, I could actually because I'm working on the next page when I get this out again. But oh well, you get the gist. It's a watercolor picture by Stephanie Freeman-Law. This I'm actually working up on a 25 count even weave because my friend sent me it for me to stitch it on. And when it's done, I'm going to send it back to her as a finished project. So there you go. We've got this page finished this month. So I'm actually one strand away from my goal. Don't tell anyone. But I got from last year, this was 20%. It just got to 20%. It is now at 33.73%. It's one thread off. Like, forgive me. I'll catch up next month. So next month I'll be taking it to 35%, and I will not be a thread off because I want that nice round-ish divisible by 5 number when I'm finished with this next month. So next month I will be moving on to this next page. It's more background, but we should get about half a page in and make fairly decent progress on that. Again, I'm still being attacked by the sun. I do apologize. Spring has sprung and it is letting us know about it. But there you are. We've got 33.73%. You know what? It's over a third done now. It was a fifth done before. It's now a third done. So I'm going to call that very good progress. It's absolutely gorgeous as it works up. Got some beautiful details in there already, and I look forward to working up some more when we get to this page over here. But that's it. That's in a few months' time, and we will get there stitch by stitch. That's a meeting of Tangled Paths, artwork by Stephanie Law. Right. Next on the list was my first 2022 project that I still have in rotation. It's 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery. So this project was started in January 2022. And here's where we are now. Again, Owl Forest, thread pack, want to make it last, want to enjoy it. I am stitching it on a 40 count linen by Witchell. It's in an apricot colour. And this is where we are. So I've practically done most of the top half. Last time I showed this, I'm not sure where I was. I think I've probably done most of this, maybe a bit of this, maybe some of this. But I've definitely worked over here in the past year. We got this little guy worked up. He looks a bit like a turkey. I like him. He's cute. I even have a note file where every single one of these owls has a name that my Twitch chat has given the owls. So this is a relatively interactive piece when I do work on it. Hopefully I'll be able to work on it some more. It is on my WIP Go board, so we should see it a few times this year. No plans to get that finished quickly. Trying to enjoy it. There you have it. 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery. Next up, we have got Kraken Storm Dragon. So, sad news, I've barely worked on this in the past year. Kraken Storm Dragon has betrayed us and has not popped up on the full coverage Friday whip wheel. I think I've had one session on this. I've gone from 21.6 to 22.78, and I find that really sad because I love this project so much. I don't have a pic. So this is where Kraken Storm Dragon is currently at. I know. I feel really bad. I really want to work on it. I'm just waiting for it to pop up and for the community to be like, yes, we want to see the Kraken Storm Dragon. Let's go. But I think I've probably just got a little bit in over here. So this here is a 100 by 100 square of stitching that I'm working through, or I would be working through if this came out some more. I really hope it comes out more. I want to see more of it. So the artwork's by Stanley Morrison. It's a drink dragon, and it's a pain-free craft kit that I got when I was a member of the Crystal Club. Ah, I want to see some more of this year, or I'll be very, very sad. There we have Kraken Storm Dragon. Our next project is Raven God. Obviously, I show this one every month as well. And currently, well, actually, begin with, last year when I showed this, it was at 24%. This year, it is 64%. So I worked 4% into this month and for several months previous to that as well. And this is where we are. So this month, I actually worked in this area. So I put about 4,000 to 300 stitches in this area down here. Worked up some detail in the tree. And next month, I don't know where I'm going to work. Maybe I'll come back into this tree here. There's a nice gap that looks like it could do with being filled in. That might be quite a pleasant bit to do. Possibly some confetti to deal with, but we'll live. It's all got to get done at some point. And I'm just picking away at 4% per month so that we can get it finished by the end of December. As you can see, there is quite the gap to fill down here. Doing 4% on it every month, it'll get there. It's already increased by so much since the last time we saw it, and I really do look forward to seeing this finished. Okay, quick camera change settings in the hope that my future whips won't be attacked by the sun quite so hard. Sorry about that, but here we go. Our next whip is the Polar Mandala. So last time you all saw this, it was kind of just getting done in this top corner a little bit. I think I had like most of this done, no beads. And here we are now. I've done all the beads. I've finished off almost the entire corner except this little bit of leaf at the bottom. I've finished off this picture panel, which may have been started, and I've even gotten started on the next corner as well. I hope I put the correct picture up. But here is where the polar mandala is now in full. I'll squeeze quite a big project. There's a lot to do on this. And it's a technical project. There's specialty stitches, there's beads, there's fancy threads, there's metallics, there's backstitch, there's everything you can think of. And I just like enjoying the challenge of this project piece by piece. So it takes as long as it takes to get this one done, but I do want to do more chatelaines in the future. This one is on a 28 count fabric dyed by pole stitches, and it's very blue, but I like it. It's very icy and cold, and I really enjoy working on it. I don't have a whole lot more to say on that. I don't have any plans, like I said. I'm just trying to work on that little bit as it pops up here and there and just enjoy the process of it. We'll maybe have it finished one day. All right. Next is Memento Mori, the Blackwork full coverage by Urban Stitches. Now, this one I actually have worked on this month. However, so previously, I don't know where we were at when I showed this a year ago. Honestly, I think I probably had most of this top strip done. And since then, I've added probably most of this strip. I also had a little gap over here that wasn't filled in. There's one color left just to put in there. Now, looking at this, it looks fine, but I have made a huge error. I have started this section here and a bit up here in the wrong color. However, there is a slight color gradient shift between the threads here, and now in my version, the threads here. So it doesn't actually look wrong. It doesn't look bad, but I have made an error, and I just want to acknowledge that I have. This piece is an absolute beast. So every single one of these stitches is a back stitch, not a cross stitch. And there's also the element of some of the threads are doubled up and some of them are single threads. It's got a lot of texture. The pattern varies as you stitch through it. It changes as you go. And in some areas, it's quite confetti heavy. In some areas, you're just stitching thread after thread after thread of one color. It's a lot of brown, but the finished picture is so worth it. One of my community members has shown a finish of this project and it looks so good. So I'm going to keep pushing forward, even with the mistake in it. I worked all over here this month. That is what I did, and I did it all wrong. We're living with it. Urban Stitches says fudge it, so I'm going to keep fudging it. We're going to get back into this skull next time we work on it, and then eventually we'll be able to make our way down into the next bit. But I think we're about a third done now, ish. About a third, I'd say. It's it's just about poking at it and getting it done bit by bit. I hope. The amount of times I've nearly given up on this and then made another mistake and then nearly given up on it is just ridiculous. But I'm sticking with it. I'm doing it. Do it for Urban Stitches. Yes. Okay, so our next project is Game of Swans. So this is a long dog sampler. I'm stitching it on an 18 count opalescent Ada in antique white. And this project has come a really long way. So this project was 23% done last year, and now it is 72.68% done. So I've added almost half of the project since last year, and this is kind of what it looks like now. We've gone all the way to the bottom. I worked this up basically in 3 columns. So I did the left-hand side, the middle, and I'm now working on the right-hand side. This is where we're at now. I am stitching this in the gentle art conversion. So I'm using gentle art threads. There's a little bit of variegation in some of the threads that you can see. and it just looks so good. I love this project very much. I do plan to finish this year. I'm going to finish it during June dog. So I'm just going to speed all needle my way through the last quarter of this. And I just know how much I enjoy working on this. So I look forward to that a lot. And I'll be able to put in 2025, I hope, over this one here. Yeah, absolutely stunning project. I've already initialed it. Oh, the flower pot. I love this. I love this so much. I cannot wait to have it finished. Absolutely stunning project. And like I said, we'll pull that out during June dog and we will finish it. I promise. Another long dog now, a special one indeed. Tiny long dog. So this is Sans You See. I'm stitching it on a 56 count linen over 1 in a fine 100 weight sewing thread. And this is where we're at now. I don't believe it. In the past year, this has gone from 49%, which is just about half, to 87.58%. So there is less than an eighth to go. So as you can see, we've worked from the top down, 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 and we are now at this bottom strip here where there's quite a lot of dense pattern, a few rhombus motifs to put in along the pattern, some houses at the bottom, some negative space stitch in here, one final little flower which have been present all the way down the left, and there we'll have it. It'll be a finish, and I think we predicted we'll have this done mid to late July, maybe start of August. I can't quite remember, but we do have a prediction for when this might be finished. Again, this one is stitched by the viewers over on Twitch. If they redeem 30 tiny stitches, I'll put 30 tiny stitches in it. If they don't redeem, I don't stitch. So this is the community's project, not mine. And I absolutely love putting those tiny stitches in and not really seeing it work up. But then over time, you notice that the work has gone in and it's coming to life. A very special long dog. There. Right. I'm actually going to plonk this one back where it lives. Just up there. Alright, our next project is Houses of Forkrun Hollow. I have actually worked on this month. So this is a carriage house samplings. I'm stitching it on a 40 count linen in cream. And I'm working on the second square now. This time last year, I'd done most of this block. I've rather egotistically switched my name and the year I got it started in on that block. Don't mind me. But I got most of that block done. I think it was sort of about there. I feel, uh, and now I've done most of this second block. There's still a bit of house to do, a little bit of mortar there. The bottom of this tree. There's a whole other tree to put in. This project has got so much stitching in it, but that's kind of why I chose it. I love the houses. I love how dense they are. I enjoy stitching big blocks, so I thought this would be a nice project to work on for the houses, but there's all the background stuff that makes it a little bit more tedious. There's a lot of work that you don't realize has to go into it. It's very, very dense. Each one of these squares is about 90 by 90, and they're really full. There's one down here that's completely full coverage, I believe. So, we've just got to take this one as it comes, bit by bit. I have no plans to focus on this anytime soon, but I really do like working on it when it does come out. So that is my Houses of Forkrun Hollow. Next, we have got a fan favorite and one I've also worked on this month because I'm working on it every month until it is done now. That is our dear friend Pod. Pod, the lovely round owl, who has seen something that we just cannot imagine. And here he is. So this time last year, he was 41.1% complete. He is now 70.67%. So over 70% done now. I worked in this page plus area here. I got a bunch of his white in, some of his confetti, and I even did a little bit over here on the background as a treat to myself, doing some nice dark reddish browns and orange colors. And some of the colors have even trailed down a little bit, but that's fine. So every month from now on, I plan to put about 2,500 stitches in. get us through this large area here. And then these final bits are just sort of part pages. They'll be relatively quick each. They'll feel quite quick. There's really solid stitching coming up, especially 310 and other dark browns down here. So I am really feeling the pod finish this year. It's coming. I will keep working on this every month because I know everybody loves pod. It'll be sad to see him go, but don't worry. I've got some more. I've got some more owls by Cat Yamain. We'll have a replacement pod. Don't you worry. If you can replace pod, I don't know. That sounds a bit cruel, doesn't it? Our next project is Sarah Clark. So I haven't been showing this one off. I've been working on it every month, but it's been on the scroll frame in the living room. So I haven't been able to show it off because unclipping it, bringing it in, clipping it back in, far too much effort for my liking. But for the sake of the WIP parade, I have pulled her off the scroll frame and I'm going to show you where we're at because this is fairly significant progress. I believe when you last saw it, you probably just saw a little bit of this alphabet, maybe a bit of this top border, maybe some of these, maybe a tree, I don't know, but there weren't a lot on here. Now we are here at that. So every month for the last few months, I've been trying to get something in on this. I'm going to be finishing this not next month, but hopefully the month after that. Maybe in May, I think. Kind of late May, perhaps. We'll see how it goes. But for now, this is where we're at. So this is a band sampler by Norfolk Samplers. And I've met Norfolk Samplers. They are really wonderful people. If you ever have any questions about Norfolk Samplers, you can message them on Instagram and they'll answer your questions. They're also members of the Sampler Guild that I'm also a member of. So I've been in a few discussions and seminars where they've talked about Norfolk Samplers, and they are just so knowledgeable and so passionate about the subject. I highly recommend checking them out, even if you don't think you're a sampler person, because they're just so enthusiastic and knowledgeable. This project is a band sampler. It does have a border all the way around, and then it has several bands that are decorative. We've got an alphabet, trees. This is a satin stitch band here. We've got a spot motif band of various trees, baskets, some little birds. And now there's this band that I'm now working up, which has got great big flowers on it and a little bit of text on the end. I'm sorry if there's a lot of cuts in this, by the way. I've just got a little bit of a tickly throat right now, and I keep coughing, and I don't want to cough on you all. That's just me trying to be polite. So what is left to do on this? I need to finish this band off. I've tried not to let the borders fall behind too much. I've tried to keep up with the borders as I've worked my way down, because they're quite tedious, all these flowers. It's a lot of the repeating motif thing going on, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't sick of doing these little flowers, but we've just got one more band of them at the bottom after I've done this band here. This looks really fun to stitch. I think I'll power through all of this quite happily. But yeah, that is Sarah Clark. She's a reproduction sampler from 1789, and I am absolutely loving working on her and progressing her towards a finish. Woo. Right, next up it is Echol Lake. So Echol Lake is a Mirabilia design, and I am stitching this on, I believe, a 32 count Chromatic Alchemy fabric. Chromatic Alchemy obviously no longer dye-in fabric, but this is where we're at with Echol Lake. I feel like when you last saw this, you were probably seeing a non-beaded version of some of this. I'm not really sure, can't quite remember. But since then, I have worked down here, filled this tail in. I haven't had this project out for a little while now, so hopefully it won't be long before we get to see her again. I don't know where I'll work. I think I'll probably keep working in this background section here because I do not want to jump over to the second siren over here because sod that for a counting game. I am not risking putting her in the wrong place. I'm just going to keep working down here. until it's safe to start moving up and working on the second mermaid. But there's that. The color of this fabric is so nice, by the way. The camera is not picking up, but it's proper bright and vibrant. It's limey green with blues and yellows. It's absolutely stunning. It really suits the color of what's in the mermaid tail, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, it's just not going to show up in the current light situation, I'm afraid. But there you are. Right, next, we're moving into page 2 of the notes, people. We're like halfway through. Here we go. Right, Epic Pokemon Gen 3 by Lord Libidon. I'm working this up on an 18 count Ada. I have worked on this month. It came out for a full coverage Friday, and this is where we're at now. So this time last year, it was probably less than 2% done. I'm not really sure. I didn't get a number, but it's currently come up to 6%. So I've added this, maybe this, maybe all this. I really can't remember where it was at last time, but I've added a good 4 or 5%. Got a couple of deoxys in. Fun story. Just as I went to film this video, I found my DMC 355. That's all I'm saying. If you were there, you know. But there you go. That is Epic Pokemon Gen 3 right now. No plans to work on this in the future. We just pull it out for full coverage Fridays as and when, and just enjoy working on it. It's quite colorful, it's fun. Each Pokemon feels like its own little mini project within the project, so it's very, very fun to stitch in that regard. But there we go. That is Epic Pokemon Gen 3 by Lord Libidon. And next up, we've got another long dog. We have got Saga. Saga being the biggest long dog so far that we know of. And here's where we are at. So I am stitching this over one on a 25 count even weave. I dyed it myself bright yellow, and it's also opalescent, so it's super sparkly. And where we're at. So we're on this like 5th arch. I think there's 2 more arches along the top to do. Again, this is just a WIP Go project. It might come out if the WIP Go number calls for it. Otherwise, I'm not really focusing on it, but it's a really, really fun project to work on. I'm working this up in a sulky thread. I can't remember the number of it, but every time this comes out, I do get a lot done quite quickly because it's essentially monochromatic. It just stitches up so fast. So I feel like when this does become a project I focus on, I'm going to be unstoppable, and this is just gonna just fly out of the needle. That's what I hope anyway. Yeah, that is Saga by Long Dog as it stands. And next up, another full coverage. We've got Book Dragon. So this came a little bit later in the WIP parade when I realized I forgot to put it in, since I'd only really pathetically new started it at the time. And since then, every time I've pulled it out, it's been like I did a little bit, did a little bit, added a bit there, added a bit there, and this time it's no different. I haven't worked on it since last time I showed it, and this is where we're at. Not even a page finish yet. This is again just another full coverage Friday project that comes out very occasionally, and we just enjoy it while it's here. I really don't have much to say about this. The artwork's by MJP. It's a pain-free crafts kit that I got when I was a member of the Crystal Club, and that's where we're at. I believe last time it was less than 1% done. It's now 3% done. So yeah, we're not focusing on it. It's fine. We'll get there one day. Our next. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Our next one is Garden of Earthly Delights. You'll know it. We're all familiar with it. The monster. This project is on a piece of fabric that is about 6 by 4 foot, and it's a 28 count even weave, and I'm stitching it over one. It's the biggest full coverage I'll ever do. if I ever do it, and I do not know where my project is in find it. Oh, found it. There it is. Ah, so when I showed this a year ago, I had got I had got like a tiny bit into this top corner here. We are now coming up to 2.5 pages done, and it is at 1.09%. So this project's got 1.74 million stitches in it, thereabouts. So it takes over 2 pages of stitching to get to 1%. It's gonna be a real slow burn, this one. However, when I am finished with Eeveelutions, this is gonna become my monthly focus project, and I plan to put 1 page of stitching in every month for the foreseeable future. That is my plan for this project. This is gonna be the thing that we're gonna see the most after October when Eevees is finished. So even though it's only 1% done over a year after I started it, and I want to finish it in 30 years, I do have plans to catch up and make a real big dent in this over the next couple of years and just see how we feel after that. Just gonna feel it out as I go. But for now, the plan is to just poodle along on it if it comes up for a full coverage Friday or maybe even a community craft along. And he'll get, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. It's a big boy. These things take planning. Need to plan it for a year before I can actually start properly going at it, but I will. It's on the list. Garden of Earthly Delights. For my sins. Our next project is the new normal. Look how small this WIP pile's getting. Look, it's shrinking. Cone Holio has appeared. Look at that. So, new normal. This one never shows up good on camera, but it's so pretty. I have got a lovely Night Stalker's Call-In fragile ego thread on a coffee crafts fabric that's been dyed in a kind of blue green gray tone, and it's just so pretty. It's really nice. I really like this project. I quite like working on it, even though I do make occasional mistakes and end up frogging on it. That's just a long dog in my experience. There we have our new normal as it stands. So this time last year, it was at 12.3%. It is now at 38.32%. And recently, I got working up here and into this new bubble up here. I don't have any plans to work on this, just a WIP-Go project for now. But it's not the biggest long dog in the world. It looks like a lot of stitching in the mock-up. And then it's only about 38,000 stitches or so. So I feel like maybe next year I'll be able to really focus on this and get a good lot done on it. But we'll see. No plans. I haven't been talking about when I started these, but New Normal was started in February 2024. So we are in the 2024 starts now. And our next one is Owl Faces. Now this one I'm stitching on 11 count Ada. That's been spicy. Now I wanted to have a nice big blocky, I don't know, arty piece, I suppose, to put on the wall. So I did it in big. I'm doing 4/1. And I've got 2 owl faces in. 2 owls finished. Lovely. So this project last year was at 2.7%. It's now at 12.5. So it's 1/8 done. And there's just 12 owls to stitch. Like, we'll get there one at a time. I really love working on this, actually. Some of the colours are a bit naff. Some of them are really bright and lovely. But the experience of stitching it is unique because I think it's the only project I'll probably ever do 4/1 on 11 count, and I'm just enjoying that for what it is. And hopefully, we will see this come out at least once or twice for full coverage Friday. Hopefully, we might even get a third owl in. I plan to kind of do this one, and then maybe move over to these 4. We'll see. Future's too far away. Can't think about it too much right now. But you know, it's it's grown over the past year, so I have no doubt it will continue to grow over the next year coming as well. Our next project is Contessa with Squid. So the artwork is by Omar Rayan, who I've been told is a pretty swell guy. very down to earth and cool, apparently. But here's Contessa with Squid. Here's how she looks right now. I've worked on this like fairly recently. I don't think it was this month. I cross country these things throughout the page, essentially, feathering into the pages next to them. If I start a thread and I can finish that thread, I'm finishing it. So that's why it's all speckly. But it'll fill in. We will get there, I have no doubt. So this is the first project in the timeline that was not in the previous WIP parade because I hadn't started it yet. So these are all from 0% to, and this one is at 11.32%. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. She's quite a big girl. She's like 187,000 stitches or something. So 11% already. That's not too bad. She's just popular. Whenever she comes up for a full coverage Friday, there's a good chance she'll get voted in. Like, people want to see Contessa. Our next project is quite a special one again. Needle. We've got Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. So I stitched this once before in metallics, and I'm now stitching it again in beads. So here we are. Here's where we're at so far. The camera's not doing the fabric any justice. It's such a vibrant pink. Like, it's so pink. And the beads are so pretty. I'm stitching this mostly in Silverline Delicas. There are some, I think the grey ones are semi-matte. Pinkish ones here are kind of pearly looking. And the black ones are just solid and shiny. But most of them are silver lined, which is why you get that flash as you move it around. That is silver lining in the beads, catching the light. And this project went from 0% to 23.91%, so nearly a quarter done. And I do plan to work on this quite intensely. As soon as Sarah Clark is off the scroll frame, this is going in, and I'm going to just go ham on it. I'm going to do what I can to really work this up quick, because I want to see it finished, and because I have another beaded project planned that is going to blow your mind. It might not blow your mind, but, you know, it's a project I'm really eager to get on with, and this can be a relatively quick finish if I just focus on it a little bit. So look out for that in a couple of months' time. It's gonna grow very quickly, but I don't plan on working on it this month. I just love this project. I could sit and look at it move all day, but imagine how much nicer it's gonna look when it's finished and there's 4 times as much of it just sparkling as I'm moving the fabric around, and on the pink as well. Look at that. I always encourage people to try a beaded project. This is on a 28 count. I actually hand dyed this myself, but it's a 28 count even weave. The beads fit perfectly, and I'm stitching it in a clear Nymo thread. You can stitch in whatever thread you want, whatever bead you want. Practice on a couple of different fabric counts if you like. It's quite simple. You just make a cross, but you put a bead in it. Like, you just got to make sure you've got a needle that'll fit through the bead with your thread, and you'll be good to go. But yeah, a couple little practice stitches on a few different fabrics to see what you like. And yeah, I know a couple of people have started beaded projects as well, and I'm watching you. Don't you worry, I am watching you. I know what you're up back there. Bead stitches. This is Indiscretion. This is my ugly long dog. And I'm saying ugly in an endearing way, not in a way that's like, this is ugly and gross and horrible and it shouldn't exist. So this is our ugly long dog Indiscretion. This is my subscriber project. So anyone who subscribes to me on Twitch gets to choose a DMC color and I'll stitch it in. And the gift subs I receive are good for 20 stitches chosen by a random number generator. And this is the result so far. We've got some moments. We've got some moments. Someone pointed out that this rabbit looks like it's wearing a jumper and jeans, and I cannot unsee it. But yeah, you just never know what color you're going to get next. We've also got an accidental Ukrainian flag here. We got an accidental pan flag up here as well before. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with this one. It's very fun and exciting to work on. And at only 30 or 20 stitches a time, it's worked up really quick. It's gone from being like 0% to nearly half done. It's at 47% already. So that's pretty impressive. And thank you to everybody over on Twitch who subscribes or gifts subs. Don't have to do that. And yet you do to support the Daceman. And yeah, when I'm finished with this, I'll be raffling it off to anyone who's been subscribed for 6 months or more as well. Next up is a Boxing Day new start. It's not something I typically do, but I did this time because I was bored that day. It's Insect the Ladybird, artwork by Stephanie Freeman Law. I can explain. I started working on it, and then I pulled it out for a stream, and I couldn't put people through all this blue, so I worked down into the actual ladybird itself, and yeah, it's a bit spooky, bit ghosty, but it'll get filled in eventually, and it won't look quite so creepy. Don't worry about it. This is where it's at. Again, another potential full coverage Friday piece. No intention of focusing on it right now, but I've put nearly 3% in. It's at 2.78%. Yeah, no plans to work on that beyond any full coverage Fridays, so that's fine. It's quite a small project. Whenever I do start focusing on it, I think it'll stitch up fairly quickly. So that's another one for the later base. And next up, we have my New Year's start, which I actually planned this time. I didn't just start it because I was bored on Boxing Day. And this is Snow Day. The artwork's by Bill Bell, and that's where we're at. It's at 1.14%. Got a little bit of sky. I think I talked about it previously, and I have nothing more to add right now. Another one that might come up for full coverage Friday. Look forward to working on it. One day I'll be able to focus on it, but for now it's just a case of maybe saying hello to it every now and then and enjoying the ride. Next up, I have got another. It was a February new start, was it? No, it was January. Oh, we're still in the Januaries for this year. And it is, yeah, the Linnet Song by Modern Folk Embroidery. So this is where that is at. I've shown it before in this state. I haven't worked on it again this month. But I've used some more of that Fragile Ego from the new normal in a 2/2 situation here, along with a week's dye works. I think it's Blue Heron. And it's a really lovely combination on this malachite fabric by Fibre on a Whim. And I love this project very much. I want to finish this by September 2026, and it's already 24%. Yep, 24.74%. It's basically a quarter done, so I don't think there's going to be any problem getting that finished. I'm pretty motivated on it. I started it really early and got a good. This is basically a head start. I didn't need to start this already, but I have, and I'm just gonna pull that out more frequently closer to the time. Let's put it that way. And when it's time to work on it, I don't think it's going to take a lot to get that done. I'm really looking forward to it. So we are on to our last couple now, kind of. Our next one is Yulebokken by Modern Folk Embroidery. Actually, no, before that, I'm just going to show off this Blackwork project, because I have to be kept accountable. So this is Red Letter Day, and I'm nearly a quarter through. So this is a little stitch along that my friend Sketch is doing with a few of his friends, and I'm one of his friends, so I thought I'd join in this year. And we're working up about a quarter every 3 months. So there's 3 more sections to do. I do need to finish this first section off, but honestly, when I am working on it, I could put about 4 or 5 strands in quite quickly and easily, and it builds up really fast. It's not too taxing to be behind on this one. I will catch up very quickly. I just need to go to his hangouts on Sunday and put some stitches into it. But yeah, this is a Blackwork sampler. I am stitching it 310 on a River Hut Designs fabric. I think it's called Cranberry or something. It's quite a swirly whirly mottled one, so I wasn't sure what I was going to put on it, but I think this is going to look really nice on it with that 310. Yeah, I've been a good boy. I've done my best to keep up with that, and I don't think it'll take much for me to stay on top of it throughout 2025. And we'll have that finished by the end of the year. Next is your Bokken. So this one, I think it's on a Joda redesign fabric that I got a while ago. Obviously, Joda redesign are no longer dyeing fabric, but here is where I am at. I'm stitching this in Queen Bee, which I think is a classic colorworks, and I'm stitching this in memory of my stepnan Jill, who passed away in January. I did start this on the day she passed away because I was sitting there that night just feeling really quite down and wasn't sure what to do with myself. I couldn't bring myself to work on anything. And I'd had this kitted up. I knew it was something I wanted to start anyway, but I thought, do you know what? Jill would find this really funny if I stitched this for her and called it a Jilly goat. So I just got on with it. Yeah, it was a bit of an excuse to new start, but it was just the only thing I could bring myself to do. So clearly it was the right thing to do. And I cannot wait to get this finished this month. I'm really struggling with the camera coloring today, and I just wanted to make it a little bit brighter so you can see it a little bit better. So Mars Bandit is taking over the community craft along this month and has decided to go with the theme of animals for April, which I'm really excited for. And I realized that other than the grayscale octopus project I have, this is the only one I have that has an animal on it that isn't a bird. Now, if you want to stitch a bird for Animal April, you absolutely can, but I wanted to stitch an actual mammal or something that wasn't a bird, basically. So I'm going to finish this month. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to get it done. It's not that big of a project. I think it's about 7,000 stitches, and I've already done a good little chunk there. So I'm just going to keep plowing on this throughout the month. And hopefully by next time, that will be a finish for you all. I'm really, really excited to have that done and to get it in a frame. So next up, we have got Rosamond by Mirabilia. The camera does not like this project. The fabric is this gorgeous dark purple and almost black mottled dye job, and the camera just soaks up all the light when I get this out. So I do apologize that you can't see that very well. It's only the pathetic little birthday start I had, but there. Eh, oh, maybe I can just, for the sake of this project, move the light a little bit. There it is, kind of. I have bought the specialty threads for this now, so hopefully I'll be able to pull it out sometime soon. I think I'm waiting for it on a WIP Go. Waiting for a WIP Go call with that on. So yeah, sorry there's not a lot to show on that one, but it's a relatively new start. There'll be plenty of opportunities to see this in hopefully a better lighting setup in the future. So forgive me. We're going to move straight on into Black Velvet by Ink Circles. I cut it a little bit fine with the fabric, but it will just fit, and I have no problem framing something with just a few little bit. It's only small. Like, I'll get that in a frame. I'm not too worried about it. So I am stitching this on a piece of fabric by the Stitchy Ferret with a piece of thread by the Stitchy Ferret. I absolutely love her dye jobs, especially on her threads. I have got 5 of her threads, I think, and they're just so well dyed and they look so lovely in the skein. So this is the first time I've actually stitched one up because I don't like taking them off the skein because they look so, like, pretty. They're so lovely. So, sorry, I just grabbed these from my drawer. It's 3 more of her threads that I have. They're just so well presented in the skein that it kills me to chop them up. But I'm really hoping to find some lovely projects for these to work on, and I look forward to seeing them stitching up. because this has been a little delight. This is Black Velvet, like I said, by Ink Circles, and it's currently sort of sitting around nearly a quarter done already. It's only small. Yeah, I know about the fabric. It'll be okay. It'll fit. I've counted. It will sort of end here. So there'll be a little tiny lip of fabric I can pull behind to frame, or I could just sew a little extra fabric on if I wanted to. Yeah, not too worried about it. I'm also going to be stitching blue velvet on a different piece of fabric, but in the same thread, and I'm going to frame them and sit them next to each other because this thread happens to match both pieces of fabric. I'm really looking forward to having that as a little FFO project on the wall. But yeah, that's all there is about that one. We're finally getting through it, man. This is the last WIP. Okay, this is the last WIP, I promise. So this was my most recent start. I started it for my Twitch anniversary. It was my affiliate anniversary, 4 years. And I started this Titmouse project by Owl Forest Embroidery. I already had the thread pack ready to go. So I got it started on another piece of River Hut design even weave. I really like River Hut design fabrics. I'm a bit sad they don't dye linen, but their even weaves do come out quite nice. So I do like their fabrics, and I've got a few more in the drawer for future projects as well. But this is as far as we've got on Titmice. It's 10.73%. It's not that big a project. It's like 6,300 or something. And yeah, that's that. I'm working up in like again, like I said, in the Owl Forest threads. And I really look forward to the next time that comes out because they're so cute. Look how cute they are. Lovely. And the threads are really lovely to work with. Really pretty threads for this project. The final thing I have to show you is actually a cheeky, sneaky little finish that I got just yesterday. I started this on Monday. It was Transgender Day of Visibility, and Bad Stitch put out a pattern on Tiltify. So for a $5 donation to Trans Lifeline, you receive this pattern in your email inbox. And I finished it up very quickly. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. So I worked this up on a piece of 40 count even weave that I had in stash. It's a Joda redesign fabric again, so not in business anymore. But this project is so beautiful. So for anyone who hasn't clocked, I am a transgender man. I was assigned female at birth, and I have undergone testosterone hormone therapy to enhance and change some of my secondary sex characteristics. And this project is just something that just hit. Like, as a trans person who's been through like a trans journey, and only my trans journey, I've only been on one, and that was my own, this just felt so accurate to me. Like, I felt this so deeply when I saw it. I also had a really pleasant experience with Bad Stitch. I messaged her on Instagram really quickly, like, I don't suppose you could fast track the pattern to me. I really want to stitch it live on Twitch, and I go live in like a few hours there. And then she responded like, oh yeah, when, oh yeah, when do you need it? I was like, oh, 15 minutes. And she was like, sent, done, caught up. And I was just really, really grateful for that interaction. So thank you, Bad Stitch, for getting this pattern to me on time and for making this pattern and for raising so much money for Trans Lifeline that will go to help so many trans and non-binary people who are really struggling in the current climate. So all I can say is if you would like to donate to a trans cause, I might drop a couple of links down below and you can check those out. But that is it for my whip parade. Oh, time to look at Discord. Let's look at what everyone else has been finishing, shall we? So, this is my community finish parade, and every month I let people show anything off they're finished with a picture, project and artist name, and they can give a bit of information if they like. And I will link any social medias down below. Please make sure you check these people out if they have left a social link. Anara came in really strong with this one for Crows Murmur, shall we call it? Little murder march. Graveyard Guardian from Sprout and Lupine. So I actually really like this designer. They produce some really pretty patterns, and Nonanara made this so beautiful. I love the pink on these flowers that's just scattered throughout the project. I think that adds such a nice dimension. Such a pretty pattern. So quickly stitched as well. Nonanara just absolutely kills it every time. And this, look, Cherry Magpie by Jed X Stitch. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So Nonanara dyed the fabric herself, and all these bright colors on top of that pink is just such an aesthetic. The cherries, oh, it's just so good. I love that so much. I can't wait to stitch it myself. Needle in the Hay uh has has a wrist cramp right now. Goodness me. Okay, Needle in the Hay has finished some things apparently. Garden Stomping by Owl Forest. 36 count pictures plus in Heritage 2 over 2 Owl Forest threads. So the Owl Forest threads are cute little hedgehogs. So pretty. And all of these pictures that Needle in the Hay posts are so beautifully curated as well. I love these pictures so much. This is incredible. So All Are Equal in Death by Modern Folk Embroidery on 40 count Saga. And it's been sewn onto the back of a shirt. That's that's banging. How cool is that? Or a jacket, perhaps. Either way, that is just so cool. I love that very much. And the thread used, it's Gothic Raspberry by Pirate and Robin, and it looks so good. It suits the project really well. One epic FFO that is. Stunning. We've got Deck the Halls by Hands On Design. 32 count opalescent white. Over 2 in DMC. That's so cute. And there's like bits of backstitch on there to give that fir tree some spiky pines. That's kind of cute. And there's some details over here as well in almost like an eyelet, but like long backstitch, I suppose. Yeah, this is really cute. A really sweet ornament and fully finished to perfection, by the way. Look at the cord along the edge there. I could never. Well hidden by Kathy Barrett. 40 counts and fiber on a whim. And here is that. Goodness me. Now that is really dense. Like, if you just look at this section here, it's all stitched. And then the birch trees as well. There is so much stitch in there. Needle in the Hay, thank you so much for sharing all of those with us. Make sure you check Needle in the Hay out. And Crow as well. Crow is coming in with Dark Familiar from the Magical Cross Stitch book. And it's been stitched in a gorgeous thread. So this vampire from Night Stalker's Calling, it's mostly black, but it's just got these tiny little hints of red throughout it. And I just think that is so pretty. That is such a neat little dye job. And I really, really dig it. That is stunning. What a lovely little finish. Well, not little as such, but a lovely finish by Crow, who I will link below because Crow is my stitching partner in crime and I love them. So do check Crow out. Make sure you've subscribed on YouTube. So finally, we have got Christina with a Modern Folk embroidery. I think this was a freebie for Ukraine and it's so pretty. The way the yellows and blues are like charted in, it's really, really pretty. Absolutely love that. So well done, Christina. Thank you for continuing to post your craftivism pieces. I really appreciate that. It's really, really cute as well. I'll make a really nice patch or something as well, perhaps. But that's that, I think. I think we're done. I think we made it through the 2025 WIP parade. I must confess, Paretta's trick is currently missing in action. I'm not really sure where Paretta's trick is, but it will show up. I cut a little bit of her fabric off to work on a small not too long ago. So I know she's somewhere. I just don't know where she is. I haven't worked on her in the past year once, but she should come up for WIP Go, and I'll get a bit of progress in on her over this year. So sorry about that, but she'll come up. We'll find her. But for now, that's it. We made it through the 2025 WIP Parade. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know which one of your projects is your favorite, and let me know what you've been working on if you've been stitching while I've been fumbling away over here. I'd love to know what it is you've been working on, and enjoy your stitching. Until next time, thank you all so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you all again at the start of May for my April update. All right, peace out.